Hello, I'm Mantastic'c and Fantastic, and today I'm going to talk about the January 2024 news update along with the new evolutions and upgrades which have just gone live in North America. And in addition to all that, it's also my birthday, so it's quite a fantastic day overall. So, first things first, there are going to be more login stamps, so just keep logging into Pad and you're going to be given lots and lots of magic stones along with the chance of pulling various rem draws and getting many free pulls. So, on the 1st and the 20th login stamp, there's the chance for you to acquire many free cards. Just keep logging in. I'm going to presume that's what each and every one of you ladies and gentlemen do already. Next thing they teased was that the Pad New Year's or Lunar New Year's event is coming soon in February, so that's something else to look forward to. There's some exciting cards in there. I like the background music for one of the cards. It just makes me happy inside. So there's some interesting stuff potentially in there. And then finally, the last thing they teased was Chainsaw Man Collab, which is coming soon. How soon? It's going to be soon is the point. So a couple of nice, exciting events to look forward to. Possibly some new cards you can pick up. We'll take a more detailed look at those things when it actually does go live in North America because things might change. You never know. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at the new evolutions and upgrades which are now currently available. So, I'm a big fan of these types of news updates because there's a strong likelihood that you actually own these cards, and having possibly significant buffs may breathe life back into that card and make you actually start using them on a more regular basis. So, first thing is that there's going to be this new 7 rem draw available. It's got 7/7 combos. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. There's a lot of 7s in their name or in like their skills. And then their actual weapon assist itself has 2 7 combos and a dragon killer. So it's a colossal damage boost against dragon type spawns because if you think about it, that's 4 times from the 7 combo and then 5 times on top of that for 20 times personal damage against dragon type spawns. If you know the dungeon has lots of dragons, this could be a phenomenal solution if you need more damage and you can sacrifice the team HP. The 2 Rem Draw has a 10 combo and a VDP, which is pretty ridiculous. Again, all offense, but no actual survivability with no team HPs, which obviously can be a little problematic. The 6 pulls has a bunch of VDP. I'm just really more concerned about the weapon assist. It's double skill boost and a VDP. In this meta of you need bulk to survive, it's going to definitely be harder and harder to justify bringing just pure skill boost, but at the same time, a 2 skill boost weapon assist is still reasonably rare at this point in time. Like, it's becoming more common, especially with this update, but point is, it might still be something useful that you may potentially want to have. For the 8 draw, they've got a bunch of crosses. They have that +8 combos for 2 turns to their active skills still. Their weapon assist now gives you an extra skill boost, which again could be significant, and it does give a cross, which does have some applications. It's nice having a single cross, I feel, on most teams because you are able to clear away the sticky blinds. There's not usually too many sticky blinds that are outrageously long turn timers, so being able to clear away a few at a time does make a difference. And then we come to shelling forwards. So shelling forwards, they did receive buffs to their base forms, and that's cool and all, but in all honesty, their weapon assists are where it's all at. I'm just going to kind of glance over these because I would not be really wanting to utilize shelling forwards on a team because they're just stronger options available, and their weapon assists are really where it's at. So, all their weapon assists have been buffed up into crazy high levels, and the green weapon assist offers you skill boost, full blind, full poison, and 6 enhanced wood orbs. Crazy amount of value in that one given active, like one set of awakenings. Like, pretty magical. Like, full blind resist is something that I find myself wanting to bring in almost every single dungeon. And there are definitely instances where my team composition just simply does not have that type of awakening. So bringing it through weapon assist is usually what I try and do, but there's not too many great weapon assists I feel that actually have super blind resist, and now shelling forward is giving you more opportunities. His light-based form, similar idea, but it trades green for yellow light orbs, and it has the blind and jammer resist now with that skill boost. It's also 3 turns of haste if you are able to charge up his 23 turn cooldown. That's definitely quite a long cooldown to try and work around and play with, but there are definitely some cards who have lower base cooldowns you could inherit this on top of to actually tap into that large amount of haste. And then for red forward, it's only poison and jammer, so not blind resist, so a little bit less exciting in that sense for my itself. But one thing I do want to mention is that because of these updates, there are more awakenings than they had previously. So there's a strong likelihood that your shelling forward weapon assists you currently have are missing some awakenings. So what I did after going through these cards really quickly beforehand was just go and just press max awakening on every single shelling forward weapon assist I had, because now it's ready to go and I can actually find it. Next is Athena Non, and Athena Non does have, like a buff to like their base form. Technically their leader skill does have 4.8 times stats, which is like, we're getting to the point where like nearing like 25 times effective HP is somewhat becoming the norm. So yes, that looks like a large number, but it's not as magical as you think. And in all honesty, I am much more excited about Athena's weapon assist. Remember how I mentioned that blind resist is a big deal? Well, this weapon assist has super blind resist, but it has 2 team HP awakenings. And as I mentioned pretty much every time I talk, team HP is basically the most important awakening you can bring, because at this point, virtually every single dungeon that's at least towards the end game hits outrageously hard, and you need to basically just stack as much team HP awakenings as possible. So having the super blind resist in conjunction with the double team HP and 2 OEs and a single TPA is a massively powerful weapon assist overall. Like, just try not to max skill it so you don't have to worry about it overcharging, and just enjoy the fact that these are spectacular awakenings. And if you are playing a team that actually utilizes TPA, this weapon assist is going to go even further. Again, like I said beforehand, I quickly went and made this weapon assist right away to have it in my box, because when I'm searching through and trying to build teams, I'm filtering for certain awakenings oftentimes, and now this will actually show up as a possible option when I'm searching for these types of awakenings. Her other weapon assist exists. It's nowhere near as special or spectacular, I feel, by comparison. And her dark weapon assist, it technically is a large amount of damage output when you are below half health, but without that bulk, and if you have limited number of Athenas, I would go with her light-based form for the blind resist and double team HP awakenings. For Daytona just receives buffs continuously. I don't quite recall what he has different here. I think maybe it's more TPAs. I wish they would show me what I had beforehand, but I'm going to assume that it's more damage. And his stats got improved. Not quite sure exactly how, but his leader skills also improved. It's now a 78% damage reduction. I think when he first came out, it was 72%, so it was like less than 16 times effective health, so it obviously made a bit of a struggle. And then it got buffed to 75%, which in turn becomes 16 times effective health, so he's kind of on par with other stuff. And now it's even higher, so that's pretty cool, because when you think about it, Daytona teams are known for dealing spectacular amounts of damage because their active skill provides so much juice. Because there are 10 TPA awakenings just on Daytona. So your friend Daytona will have another 10. You have 20 TPAs just from your leaders. You're probably going to have subs that also have TPAs. So with all that in mind, it's going to make his attack buff catastrophically high, so everyone can deal large amounts of damage potentially. And it still is that kind of mindlessness of you just need to match 4+ linked light orbs. If you match 4 light orbs and 1 heart combo, you hit 10 combos anyways, because it's +8 from both leaders. Pretty crazy times all around. His weapon assist now has triple TPA. I think it might be the first triple TPA weapon, possibly. It is a colossal amount of damage. Obviously the drawback is you don't have any team HP awakenings, but that Athena Non weapon is something I probably would slot onto my Daytona teams now. Daytona in his other form, I believe the buff it received was that his active skill does unlock orbs. Not 100% certain it is, but I think it is now unlocking orbs, or maybe it's enhancing light orbs. I think it enhanced already. Either way, it unlocks, it enhances, it pierces for 1 turn, changes heart to light orbs. Never a bad thing to have on your given team. He does have a bunch of TPAs, so it does work for Daytona. He could get that blind resist, maybe just throw Athena Non instead. He could have more TPAs, more skill boosts, more 10 combos, something to consider. Blackbird also received significant buffs. One drawback of Blackbird that I feel it's kind of like similar to the LJ Kitty is that they provide 100% resist of something, and you want to run duplicates on a given team. So yes, this 100% blind resist is great, but you don't need really two of them on a given team. You just don't. So like when you have double Blackbirds as a leader, one of the awakenings technically goes to waste, but it's still a nice awakening to actually have. So pros and cons there. Stats are buffed, leader skills buffed, has 78% damage reduction now, so you know that is a big deal. His offensive might has 410 combos, 2 VDPs, 2 enhanced dart combos, so lots of damage potentially there. Weapon Assist has that 10 combo and 2 enhanced dart combo awakenings and 60% blind resist with a full bind immunity. So it's a pretty jam-packed Weapon Assist. Like nowadays we're starting to see Weapon Assist with many more awakenings, and Blackbird is no exception. In his other form, it does have different awakenings. I don't quite know what they are, unfortunately, but it's got double VDP, double 10 combo with the chance of, I don't even know what his super awakenings are. I guess they didn't get changed. I was never a big fan of this Blackbird in particular. It has 2 turns haste upon transforming the active skill, and then on a 2-turn cooldown, you get 1.5 times max HP, removes locks, Dark Orb is enhanced. So it's not generating you orbs, it's not 100% uptime for like essentially effective health buffing. So I feel like it's just not a card that I can squeeze on a given team because it's not countering a truly needed mechanic. Like usually you have a looping shield of some kind because you need that 100% uptime on damage reduction. If this was 100% uptime on this 1.5 times max HP, you could, make the justification that they can be brought along because it's a way to have more HP than you're supposed to have, which is in turn essentially like effective health. So it's unfortunate that it's still a 2-turn cooldown and only lasts 1 turn. Priscilla, Klaus, and all the other cards from this series have received buffs in their base form to have more personal damage, enhanced combos for their respective color, and they are able to have now a 2-turn cooldown compared to before. It used to be 3 turns, which made it difficult to create a system. Now it's a 2-turn cooldown. So in theory, Clive and Shanna, if you have only like 1 Shanna, 1 Clive, nothing else, you can utilize Priscilla to plug that hole for the active skill generation. Is it as good as a second Shanna? Of course not, but it at least gives you 6 fire orbs every single turn. You don't make hearts, you do give yourself no Skyfall, so it's obviously a little less ideal, but there is nice passive damage generated from her. She does have 410 combos, so it should deal reasonable amounts of damage. Again, I feel like she's a way to plug your system if you're missing cards. And her evolved form, it does have potentially immense damage against God-type spawns. Their active skill, I feel like, is a little frustrating. It starts out great, a 3-turn cooldown, and then it becomes a 6-turn cooldown. So it's just a little unfortunate. I guess what you could potentially utilize is inheriting an active skill on top of them, using the inherit, and then eventually using the transforming active skill. I just finding it hard to figure out where we could try and utilize Priscilla because of the final form is a 6-turn cooldown for 1 turn of damage reduction, then RCV, attack buffing, and that's it. So not enough overall. And then again, similar idea to series cards. They all are going to follow a similar template of having 2 skill boosts, a killer, a super resist, and OEs for their respective colors. So if you have these weapon assists, go back in there and max awaken them because they will open up possibilities and at least show up when you're filtering through awakenings. Klaus follows basically the exact same template. They have essentially identical templates in their base form. The evolved form again follows similar idea, but again, longer cooldowns after the transforming effect is a little underwhelming, I feel, because then you're stuck with a longer turn cooldown that doesn't quite do enough value. But again, weapon assist does give that double skill boost, super blind resist, a killer, and OEs. Taula, similar idea, except for light-based stuff. Everything is basically copy-pasted, but just different colors and different killers for their evolved forms. It's just, it's nice, but, they're very similar, and they fulfill the identical roles for those respective teams as being an alternative orb generator if you're lacking something else to complete your system. And then we are going to eventually find Serus. So these cards receive some serious buffs, so to speak. Not necessarily in this form, I feel. It's more so when they have their pixel form, because in theory, I feel like it could be a large amount of damage. They have the Brick Awakening, but they have double 10 combo as a Super Awakening. So that's 25 times damage. That is 12 times damage, and that's 5 times per killer. Now, I'm not the best at math, but that's a comically large number, especially when these typings actually line up. So, like, it's a pretty interesting concept of, like, just all-out damage. And then their active skill is an 8-turn cooldown that does give you a full heal, removes orb blocks, changes the outer columns, well, the second column from the left and right to light orbs. So in theory, on a big enough board, you would generate enough orbs for the Blob Awakening, but on 6x5, it's not enough. It's not really a card I feel like you can really run and utilize, but it's just interesting to see that they just have so much personal damage on this card. And then Dill Serious follows a similar idea, where they would have that brick, lots of killers, that active skill that makes columns, but not enough on 6x5. You can never system this card, so there's no way to make like a Dill Serious system, unfortunately. But I just find it interesting how they have so much personal damage now out of nowhere, so to speak. The 2 Remdraw has received new awakenings. I don't think it's really a card you can truly utilize unless there's only 2-turn cooldowns, but they just do damage, and not even that much damage. It's nothing special nor spectacular. And those are all the buffs and upgrades for this time around. So, with that being said, let me know what you lovely ladies and gentlemen think about all the various buffs that have come out this time around. I'm pretty excited for the Shelling Forward Weapon Assist, but also the Athena Non Weapon Assist I think is pretty spectacular, at least in this day and age. But with that being said, let me know what you lovely ladies and gentlemen think about these buffs and updates in the comment section down below, along with the Chainsaw Man collaboration arrival and Lunar New Year's event. But regardless of all that, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you the best luck in your own pet adventures. My mom's taking me out for dim sum for my birthday, and happy puzzling.